Please subscribe and share this video with your friends. Welcome everyone to another fantabulous episode of The Dating Den. I hope my body language is that you want to stay and watch, because although one of my colleagues, this is Justin Bird, everyone, by the way, he's
How we doing?
Patty Stanger's assistant. So one of my colleagues is a male dating coach, and he has like 85 bazillion views on YouTube. Okay, because he opens every video with like girls with big giant boobs.
That's sex sells, right?
I know. So I was thinking I should get like a Chippendale, or maybe make my co-host take his shirt off, and then I'd like quadruple my views, but that wouldn't be very dignified. So Justin will keep his shirt on, and we're going to talk about, maybe not, no, I don't know.
At least this round. At least this round.
Yeah, I don't know. We're still dating. Okay, so we're talking about male body language, and I got this email, and someone said, you know, I cannot tell if a guy is interested in me. First of all, I'm so happy that people are actually leaving their houses and not just internet dating. So
exactly.
Good for you. And you're out, you're on a coffee date. What are some signs, body language-wise, that a guy is interested or not interested?
I would think some of the most important body signs when you're out on a coffee date or date in general, or just meeting a girl at a bar, or having a conversation in general. If a guy is talking to you with kind of shoulders off-center to yours, just kind of off a little bit, he's either intimidated by you and can't, really face you, look you in the eye, and keep the eye contact, or he's just kind of uninterested. So one of those two, you don't know.
Okay,
he's
so
either
if
not
we were
interested,
like out on a date and I was sitting like this and you were doing this
and I'm just kind of like, and I'm like talking to you kind of like this, where I'm kind of looking over.
It feels weird.
How weird does it feel?
It does feel really weird.
Either I'm kind of not confident enough and, intimidated by you, or I'm really interested in you and I'm just trying to figure you out.
Okay, awesome. So it's really weird. Like if you were here with me, you would know that it's weird. Okay, that was really good. Okay, What about the, this is not rocket science, but what about eye contact?
Oh yeah, this isn't rocket scientist or science. Either one.
They probably need to work on that.
It's interchangeable, right?
Exactly.
Eye contact. So this is huge.
Okay.
If I'm talking to you, I have to be looking in your eyes.
Yes.
You can work on it, you can get better at it, but if I'm kind of, my eyes are darting everywhere and do you really trust me or believe what I have to say if I'm kind of like, what do you think about that?
You know what's really interesting? When I was single and I dated for like 5 years before I met my fiance, guys would do that thing where they'd be talking to you and then you could see they were like checking to see if anyone else like hotter, cuter, their ex-girlfriend was walking in the bar. And I automatically made this assumption that they were a little sketchy.
Yeah. Or super insecure, which you don't want that anyway.
Right.
Because they're trying to see who's looking at them, or it's just weird.
Yeah.
So you can work on it and get better if you do. You can practice.
Right.
Practice anything, you'll get better at.
It makes you present. It
does make you present. You know what's also interesting is that in my own little journey, when I actually met the Brit, we were at an event and we had eye contact, and it actually was so long that it was awkward.
Really?
Right? So he did this. It was like, oh, you're cute. I think you're cute. And then it was a little long. So he's like, hi, I'm Jeremy. Nice to meet you.
But
he had to save it, right? I mean, because it was so, it was intense, but it was really good because he could have just like looked away and ran away.
That's great. That brings me to kind of another point is I feel like something like that, you remembered it, right?
Right.
You make us remember. Do something that kind of makes us remember in a positive light. You don't want to be on the negative side of things.
And
but
you could do that. Yeah, and you could do that. So if you have the eye contact and it feels a little long, instead of like looking away and being embarrassed, be like, hey, like...
Be playful.
Yeah, be playful. I love that. Okay, so I just did this. So let's talk about touching.
Okay, touching. Whose job is it to do the first touching? No, there's no 101 book about it, but you have to be touchy-feely with someone. If you're into them, we're going to be playful.
Okay, that's great.
I'm fun, you're fun, we're touching, we're having a good time. If I'm doing all the touching, she's not reciprocating, she's probably not interested in me, and the same goes for her. If she's touching me or being playful and I'm not, doing weird things back to her, I'm not interested. I'm not giving her those signs.
And this is a really important thing because I think some women, and I really realized this over the last few years especially, some women get really uncomfortable when a guy does this. And so they make up a story that like he just wants to sleep with you or whatever. It's actually appropriate and normal. And so if that wigs you out like a lot, then you probably want to look at that for yourself if you're really uncomfortable with someone touching you.
Yeah, you don't want the touch to be like you're making a move.
No. It's just like I've like touched him. Like if you could do this is a drinking game, you'd be wasted right now. Like touch Justin, okay. Okay, and what about posture?
Posture. So my posture right now is not good. I have an arched back. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. So
No.
be confident.
Yes, when you walk into a room,
Hey.
you notice, women, you probably notice the guy who walks in the room with his, shoulders back, he looks confident. Someone with confidence is going to attract an audience. If you walk into the room kind of slouched over looking down, that's nothing attractive about that. And would you like that? Who do you see when a guy walks in?
No, I totally noticed now they're confident guys, but there's some guys that walk in that are overconfident.
And you can sense that though.
You can, because and tell me if I'm wrong, because this is just a guess. They're almost like, hey, who's looking at me?
Yeah, and I call that peacocking.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I call it a peacock. You're faking it. That guy's faking it. He's not confident. He's insecure. But there's the guy who's just kind of cool, calm, collected, but just confident. You don't want to overdo it.
Right. Okay. So if a guy is confident and he's doing the peacocking thing, stay away. Your intuition is right.
Run away from the peacock.
Right.
Yes.
Put your Nikes on, ladies. Okay. And then let's just talk before we wrap up about, I believe that the phone now is because they're almost attached to us.
It's an accessory.
It is, and it's part of body language. So what does a guy do that's appropriate, that says I'm into you, versus when is he just obviously not into you with his phone?
So if you're in the flesh with him and he has his phone, it's rude to have your phone, I think.
Right.
Even though it's all part of,
Right.
life nowadays. But the only time it's good is when he's getting your number, I think.
Exactly. He should pull it out and get your number.
Yeah, you don't want to be rude about it. If you have something important to take care of it. But at least excuse yourself and say, I'm sorry. Do you mind if I check my phone real quick? I have, a meeting or something.
Yeah, no, I think that's really important, because I remember dating and being on dates where, in fact, I probably told this story, but I'll tell it again because you'll appreciate it. I was on a date with this guy. He was like loaded. In fact, my dad called him Bentley because he had a Bentley. Anyway, and so he was really happy that I was going out with him, which was kind of sad and weird and the same thing. But anyway, I went on a date and we're sitting at this restaurant and he kept pulling out his phone. And so I said, I understand you're really busy and you have a lot going on, but it's making me feel kind of invisible. Is there something we could do about it? You know what he said to me, Justin?
Okay, let's hear it.
Did somebody's daddy not give her enough attention when she was a little girl?
Oh my God. What'd you do? Get up and leave?
I was like, no, I got plenty of attention, and you're rude.
That is ridiculous.
That's exactly what I said. And needless to say, I never went out with him again.
No, as you damn well shouldn't.
Yeah, so anyway, we gotta go. I was leaving on that downer. But the bottom line is, I didn't make a bunch of rules that all guys are assholes. I kept dating, and now I can laugh about it.
Yes,
and guess what? I see him on Instagram. He's still single. See ya.
Weird. I'm shocked.
I know. This is Marni Battista. If you want to find out more about what I'm doing in the world, go to datingwithdignity.com. You can find me you can tweet me, sister, at Marni Battista. Where can you tweet handsome hunky Justin Bird?
Justin Bird, TMM, and Justin Bird Official on Instagram.
I'm going to follow you.
Yeah.
Are there pictures of you without your shirt on there? Awesome. I'm in.
There's a lot.
Okay, cool. See you guys. Bye.
Take care.